the gist that is going on in this studio. It's not for Monday. Nima and Damila combination. This combination. Okay, let us go. So, thanks for staying with us. Now that it appears the unending battle for supremacy between the suspended governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and his godfather, Minister Nyesom Wike, is now over, as many of you already know. Social media has been flooded with quite a bit of footage of their affection, their camaraderie towards each other. So on this segment, we know lots of people discussed it last week, but when your view has not spoken about it, the conversation hasn't been heard, trust me. So we'll be discussing some of the key takeaways from their prolonged battle. Now that Nima is back, so this is her area of specialty. After their prolonged battle that they nearly brought the River State to a standstill. To start, what are your thoughts on their reconciliation? How they've been just hugging each other and shaking each other, and they're almost looking like a couple, What are your thoughts on this? And what are the lessons? Because it's not the first time that we're seeing issues between Godfather and son. It happened in Lagos State with the president and BRF. We had so many other, Obaseki and I think was it Oshomole. We had so it's not the first time. So what lessons as Nigerians can we learn from all these Godfather, Godson relationship gone sour? You can call us on the numbers on the screen: 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Even very recently, although they told us there was no problem, the president and our governors, they kept telling us that there's a problem. Somehow, inside that Jesus was saying, there is problem. After a while, they now came to hug, and so everything has gone. So it's like, okay, what lessons have we learned? Let's start with the Fubara story. Nima, do you want the floor? We are still in the holiday mode.
I should have it. Give me.
Yeah, we are pleased.
Well done. So, Governor Fubara, thank God that you have finally come to sense.
Yes. Nimo.
Yes.
He has fans.
Yes. So, me too, I'm a fans. When that matter was brewing, I kept saying to him that the people he's listening to are his problem. There was a particular day we were doing, I was saying, it's the people that are around the governor saying, after you now, after you is you. When you reach a pact with someone, it's you. Between both of you that you know it. And there's this Sonia Ade's advice, that a song on advice, that my father used to remind us that no matter how many people are talking to you, talk to yourself. You don't pause your thinking. They don't the day that I was saying it on the show that they were saying Ijo caucus, and they were mentioning Asari Dokubo as the people that were advised. I say, Asari will know. I was even saying to my husband that immediately you will see Asari's change if this thing blows out of proportion. And immediately he did it. About 2 days after I said it to him, husband, he did a video saying, who sent Fubara? And that was it. You are the person who became governor against all odds, and you knew what you had to do to become governor. Is it not to present budget? They say you should present it again. House of Assembly. You will know how the politics go. You play it how it is. Don't rely on what people will tell you that when he was saying that he will tell the youth when to strike. I kept wondering, who is advising this man? The people that are telling him, don't grieve for him, don't grieve for him. How many of those people that don't want to grieve for him will be there when you actually don't grieve? Because this is not about River State people. It's about the politicians, and he knows how.
No, Nima, it's not about the politicians. It's about the people. How do we fix Nigeria? If we all keep saying, this is how they do it, present the budget as it is, and let's do it as they always do it. We're not going to fix this nation.
We're talking the idea. These people that we are talking about, the Wike, the Fubara, all of the players, even all the 27 House Assembly members, this is their politics. This is not about their people. None of them remember their constituencies when they were doing this. The governor himself does not talk. He's not talking about his people.
He spoke about his people, though. He said when he's willing to make sacrifices for his people.
He had even said that his body, that the spirit left house, but the body did. That's the thing. So let's leave the ideal. The normal democracy we know, we would have loved to see, is not what we are seeing here, because it shouldn't be one man's call that the decision of a state that should be independent of him.
Okay, let me let Chika come in here.
But this is what we have seen.
Chika, your thoughts?
So they say that the storm is over. We understand the optics. We understand it. All of the theatrics. I mean, if you watch the videos, if you really study those videos, where Fubara and Wike presented, you can tell, you can read all of the postulation and the
somebody
things that were not there.
Somebody succumbs to something.
You know, I think that Fubara even expressed the sentiments. He really expressed what he wanted to say by saying, you know, all of the bitterness. So there's still unresolved tension. But we understand that for you and I, this optics has played out. Is the storm really over? That is the question. How is governance going to proceed going forth in the state of Rivers? For Fubara, I would just say you already knew what it was from the get-go. You already knew what it was. You know, you knew what time it was when all of that help and the canvassing and the support and the drums were being drummed, and you were dancing to it, so you must continue to dance. That's really what it is. But I just hope that at some point, because you see, beyond even the sphere of politics, you know, a man is a man. And I don't think that any man likes to be emasculated totally. And sometimes it feels like that's what's happening here. So it would be up to him. He's going to fight a very strong battle. It's up to him to say where his boundaries, you know, this is where I draw the line, to the point where it doesn't seem as though he has completely lost loyalty, because there's so many issues at play here.
Yeah.
You know, everything that he does, is he going to do in deference to external forces? Which still somehow remain internal. So it's a slippery slope, and I know that he's probably playing the long game too. It might seem as though, you know, he's looking like a puppet right now and he's cowering, but you never know. He might just be playing the long game, which is.
Let me come to you, Dami. Your thoughts.
I think for once, if we'll go back to government class, it used to be democracy is for the people, by the people, but things have changed. No, that's what they still teach in school.
That's what they
but
teach. That's what she said about reality.
Coming to reality, it no longer plays. But my point here is that we keep doing this thing over and over and over again. He who must dine with the devil must have a long spoon. And I remember that jokingly, maybe Governor Fayose said it in one of their events, that you see spirit, things will chase you. But it also boils down to the fact that if somebody is not strong enough, like my father will say, he who does not have skeleton, they don't invite you to politics. That's my father's take. But if you are not strong enough, you are going to be like this puppet. And we have seen so many other governors behave as though they are puppets because there's a godfatherism factor that actually wheeled them in. Excuse me. They weren't probably voted for in. Some people seem like they were rolled in like tires. Like, just go there. Now we put you there. But it also brings us back to what Yorubas call adeun. Do you understand? You had something going.
I don't like this thing you're saying. You know why?
You had something going. Because you know that if you tilt otherwise, there will be problem. And from the get-go, like you said, this was never about the people of Rivers. This was never about the people of Nigeria. Politics, they don't play it as though we are involved or we matter. They've never played it as we have a say. And if we also have to go back to this new trend that Peter for Nigeria is pushing for electoral reforms, it also brings us back to who are the kind of leaders that we choose. Some people are the power that other people look for. Regardless. Somebody has proven to be the power, because if not, there's a sitting governor and there's an external factor who is a minister somewhere.
So Damila, I hear you. And you and Nima, you made a point. I hear you. But you see, for countries that have done revolution, or there has been total disruption, if somebody say, you know what, there's going to be a day we stop this nonsense. There's going to be a day we say, you know what, we're done. Somebody has to be bold enough to say, I am coming against the Godfather system. Because the truth is that in some countries, Godfatherism helps some people. In some other countries, it's not so effective. We've seen it work in our society somewhat. But the people are getting more enlightened. They're getting more The electorate is not the same electorate that voted Jonathan in or voted Buhari in. The electorate that voted in Tinubu, they are totally different. And the ones that are voting the next president, they are more educated. They know what is going on. So we are in 2025, and we're saying, if somebody says, I don't want to be part of the caucus again. I want to focus on my people. I want to focus on development. Now we're saying it's politics. When should politics continually, or when should politics start focusing on the people, on governance? Because when political godsons and their godfathers have these issues, it disrupts governance. It does. Totally and completely. There are financial issues. There are issues of those who have been elected who are not able to do their work. So what do we want a nation or do we want a banana republic? That's the conversation for the people. I don't want to care about their politics. The Nigerian people, what do you want?
What they want, they don't already put them for office now. you know, a vote and a no vote is still a vote. And they are voted. The people who put Fubara in office know that they couldn't have achieved it without
on their own. Yes.
On their own. He knew. Is it only his constituency? Even the constituency, was he able to deliver it on his own at the time? He needed support. See, Morale, everywhere in the world there's Godfather. Let's use the US politics that, you know, I was there over there and I heard that they have gone and bomb Iran. Who was president? He's not the person who campaigned on no external war, no intervention in other countries that led the team to bomb another country. That, you know, approved Israel to bomb the other country. Somebody is beating drum for him that go and do it now. He campaigned and assured Americans this will not happen again under his watch. He criticized the previous government for such interventions. Absolutely. But now he go to you too. So really, everybody is about one interest or the other. My point is, do not distract the interest. See, President Tinubu, to me, did a favor to Governor Fubara. That intervention is why there's no impeachment. Would have been in court, he will be discussing his impeachment. There will be another governor in office.
So this weakens our democracy, Nima. Totally. So let us not then ask for democracy, because I've always said it. I've always said that the democracy in our country is different from democracy as we've learned it.
Democracy itself is a defective form of government.
We are now speaking the same language.
They use. And he has his ways to check itself. He has his own measures to check itself. One of such measures is an impeachment. One of such measures is, you know, having a backup in the speaker in case both of them are impeached or removal and put somebody else in office. Some of such measures are the things that politicians master to control office. If I, as your godfather, make sure that each local government, I deliver the constituencies and put you in office, and your head no one straight, I go ask the same people to call for your impeachment in the House of Assembly. And we're saying it then to the governor that don't forget that you don't own the machinery that put you in office. Somebody else owned it. If they say do this, go and do it and let us hear what.
Okay, we'll unpack that a bit, but let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. You can still call us on the numbers on your screen. We'd like to hear your thoughts and views on this conversation. 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet us at TVC, and your YouTube will be happy to hear your thoughts. Any comments so far, or you want to jump in?
Yes, we have some comments.
Go ahead,
somebody says Governor Siminalayi Fubara was not smart at all. He would have played the fool for the first 4 years. Then the next, he will enter the town fully and show himself. He was too quick and people deceived him. I would just say that going forward, for this second opportunity that you have been given, do the most that you can within the context and the framework of what or where your power resides. The people of Rivers State, to a large extent, can still benefit from your governance, depending on how you choose to go. So all of those pending projects, this is the time to start to execute while you continue to play your position. This is what you signed up for. So just live out the course of your tenure and create the most impact that you can create.
The reason why I'm really confused about this thing is because I've always argued that I know that democracy as it is doesn't work for us. But Nigerians always make it look as if, oh, we're playing democracy, because they're playing that democracy card. When something happens in a state and maybe a governor takes action and says, is that, or maybe the president says something about the governor and says that he's an independent state. How can the president influence it? You know, so these things happen. You still think for a second that as a nation, what game are we playing? Because, I mean, the other time I was in China, and it's a socialist communist system where certain things, you can't do certain things. Every public the facility is for the people, and you cannot take ownership. And there are certain things that they follow you up to the letter. So, and that's something that in our own setting, it would be as if you are infringing on my right to do certain things, and they will infringe. They were infringing because there's a system of what they want to do. So my question is, how therefore? Because let us choose as a nation which system of government will work for us.
For a long time. You know,
that confusion, we must realize that we are confused.
No, we were stunted. We were made to look less of ourselves. So we couldn't actually arrive at one collective one that is designed, factored without colonial influence, to arrive at a system of government that will work for us. These countries that we mentioned, they have decided. If you go to UAE, they know they do democracy there, but we go there, we love the system. We like how it's organized. We come back, we want freedom. We want democracy. Anyhow things. And the democracy we use, we say, no, it's not the same democracy they have in Britain. It's not parliamentarian, it's presidential. The free for all, we like it. So we really have a confusion as to where we are. That's why I say democracy as a government, as a system of government, is a very defective system, unlike what we thought. There's not government for any people, for people, for people.
Is it not? Even US now, can't you see how defective it is?
It's for them. And it's the damn thing we are suffering from. So we'll find a way. But the fact is that you cannot run office as a politician and pretend that the system
doesn't matter.
You must play it the way you understand it. So what we are doing now is, using this our own democracy, we must align it with our culture, our behavior, our reality and tradition, because it's very, very mixed. Our traditional rulers, they have say. Godfathers, everybody has say. Who is really controlling population? It's a matter of numbers. Who is controlling the numbers? Who has more numbers? You play that game. You cannot now play it, finish, enter office, say, let's kill that person, let me remove that person. I wondered what Governor Fubara was thinking when he went to burn and declared the House of Assembly locked. I wonder what he was thinking.
He probably had some backing.
That is the problem. You see those backing. You see those backing. If I were him, I would not greet those people.
The way they used to say that a fly that does not have a technical advisor is the one that goes into the grave with the corpse. That's how he has played. Let me take this call. I'll go back to you, Dami. Okay. Damilola, thanks. Adebayo, thanks for calling. You're live.
We lost that call. Listen, everybody has political back. We have to take a few tweets and we'll wrap up on this. Go ahead.
Okay, so I also think that in this system, there's been a template that has been run over the years. I don't think that there will be anybody that is ascribed a godson that will have enough footing to oust his godfather. Because your godfather is like steps ahead of you. They brought you in. They babied you into it. We saw a portion of that happen in Lagos State here, even where we're indigenous. I remember that I had a long call with my father trying to tell me what happened, trying to put me into the political landscape, what it was, what the meeting had been. And to me, it seems like you people want a different destination, but you are going the same route. You cannot be traveling Lagos-Ibadan Express Road and expect that you are going to end up somewhere in Kafansha. It's not possible. So if we do not really understand our route and look at which options is best for us, that we will follow through. Because the problem is still we humans. We are the ones that will say, oh, the crown sits well. And we are the ones that will come back and say, this crown is shaking. So what do humans, what do we want as a people? If we don't align, even confab is joking.
Yes.
If we do not sit and agree and follow it through.
Let me take
We have to wrap up. We have to take a few comments.
Yesterday says, Nima, stop giving excuses. Nigeria has been independent since 1960. No worry, continue. Sir Corey Michael says, Nima, democracy is defined. This is not our democracy. No worry, continue. Bukola says, okay, brilliant submission.
I think Titilola Akinubi says, Godfather is everywhere, though subtle in some places. Just in Lagos here, the State House of Assembly impeached the Speaker. The Godfather reinstated.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mount Rushmore says, Wike is not the only person to sponsor a successor. Even Tinubu gives his godson freedom to govern. He will wait for you at a junction of second term.
So, this thing of Godfatherism, or this thing, it is the people that empowers that Godfather system. Because imagine if the people of Rivers State stood firmly behind Fubara, for example. Because the truth is that, you see, when you look back and you don't see anybody, that's why you have to go back to the place and you go back to your
where you're coming
from. Because the impact of the power that the people truly have.
Yes.
In their numbers. If 100% of Rivers State people, regular people, where we feel. So what impact does that truly have when it comes down to it?
You cannot have impact.
Democracy gives them that power. Because the real democracy in its sense gives them that power. Because the other day they wanted to remove Natasha. They were looking for numbers all over the place. They didn't find the numbers.
Natasha have a number. You see, in her constituency, she have a number.
It's
Natasha that have a number. She don't have a number. You know, when I borrow Morayo's number to run for office, it's different. In Rivers State, hold on. In Rivers State, people have forgotten how difficult it is to have their elections. It used to be gone with elections. Now me go tell you where to queue and vote. That's how Rivers State elections are known for.
Yeah.
And so we know how they got the numbers. And we know you cannot now get the numbers that and be saying the people of Rivers State. Which people, how many people will really come out?
Even Benue. Remember I was saying the other day that, when the devastating killing happened in Benue, and it happened day one, we didn't see the people come out. It was until one person in living in Abuja came all the way, did a video. So I'm talking the responsibility of the people now. Because if the people know something like this happened in our town, and they came out en masse and said, we need accountability on this, nothing happened. So it's still the people that empowers this complacency of our democracy, this weakening of our democracy. Because if you are indeed about democracy as it should be, if Fubara should feel empowered, by the numbers behind him. Unfortunately, he looked back and the people are also...
They were sleeping.
They're sleeping. That's why he had to go back to his first place. His Godfather, well, let me reconcile because you are the one bringing me here.
I'm on my own.
You know,
They're
not there. So that's feedback to Nigerians. That as we are seeing, as we're moving forward to our elections, let's be sure. What do we really want as a people? We need to be very clear.
Let's demand that the elites, these informed people that we those of us that we usually come out to say this is how democracy should be, all those right-thinking Nigerians who come out after the fact every time, especially in Rivers State, to come and be deciding what was right and what was wrong. Can you people please go to the polls? Carry your children, go to the polls.
Yeah, so...
Go and decide who is in office so you can decide how the democracy will run. It's not the people who are ready to do one man shot, 10 man die politics at elections that you will be talking to. Because when they decide, you cannot say anything after.
That's all we can take on this, and we're wishing Governor Fubara the best and the entire people of Rivers State. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.